Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and the last episode of the Island Preservation Challenge. So I just wanted to bring you back for this one to show you guys what I've done to remove my presence from the island. So this is the landscaping that we've done around the house. So let's get into here and I will show you. I think we're going to have to go into the construction view to get a better view of what's happening. Look at that. There we go. I don't know. I'm not a great landscaper, but I do like trees and I do like color, which is why these two trees are in here. That's it. All there is to it. All right. So let's go over and take a look at the main island. Hey, look at that. Huh? You can barely see what's left. Okay. So the reality of the situation is that we cannot get rid of the pigs. The deal is with the game, with the challenge, no selling animals, right? So if we're going to stay to that, if we're going to stick to that, then we can't sell the animals. And if we can't sell the animals, then we can't get rid of the production, the farm factory, right? Because this makes pig food. This thing right here makes pig food. All right. These greenhouses keep this thing running. So we need that. We need those. The soybeans, we don't need these. We can delete these and everybody will be happy. They do produce money. The attitude adjustment consumes the straw, right? So we need the greenhouses. We need the farm factory. We need the attitude adjustment. We need the pig barns themselves. And because we need the greenhouses, we need the slurry dryer. So I left these here. The salt marshes, and I left the soybeans just to make money. So theoretically, oh, and as you can see, I added in a whole bunch of water capacity into, holy shnikey fish. I added a whole bunch of water capacity into our greenhouses, so it requires less tending, right? So now our bottleneck is manure and how much manure we have and what's available and all the rest of that kind of fun stuff. So that's that. As you can see, the fields are completely gone. I think I did a pretty good job. Oh, I also left the bees because, you know, bees, they're good for the world. I finally figured out the grass painting and the texture of what it is on this particular map. So I think it looks pretty good, pretty close to what it was originally, or let's say pristine environments. I did a sale, speaking of which, there's a bunch of products laying on the ground over there. You can see we have $4.3 million, and that's partially from selling, you know, the harvester and the big equipment and all that kind of stuff, and also productions and everything else. But also because I had to sleep a couple of months while I was working on this. And, you know, we had products to sell. So I'll go back and sell those products. Actually, you know what? Let's just fix that little patch right there that I just ran through, little bald spot. Yeah. It's kind of hard to see the grass. And here's the thing, at least on this map, this is meadow, right? Just regular old meadow, right? One of the things in the very top, meadow. And then the color, if you guys are so inclined to concern yourself, at least on this particular map, and I have one of those mods installed that gives me all the textures, so it makes it a little more difficult. But anyway, the grass color is this grass EU, right? So the combination of those two seems to have done a pretty good job of emulating. Yeah. So you can't really see this stuff from the menu. I don't need to do this, but I'm gonna. Anyway, it's hard to see it from the construction view, right? You have to kind of get down close to be able to see your bald patches. All right, I think that's it. Let's keep trucking. We'll go on over to the location of the last field. Oh, we got another bald spot here. Let me fill this in real quick. Is that it? Yeah, we got it. There's another one over there. We're not going to worry about all of them. Just the big ones. What is that? Just an artifact, I guess. Yeah, so you can see this field is gone. I didn't do any additional landscaping over here, mostly because why? There wasn't anything there. We didn't have to cut any trees down to make those fields. So I only put all these trees on this end of the island to, number one, make up for any and other trees that I... Holy shnikes, look at this whole spot I missed. Okay, well, let's just fix this real quick. Anyway, I planted all those trees at that end to cover up for any trees that I may have missed, in addition to hiding the left facilities that were left, just to provide a little bit of obfuscation from the ocean, from my island that I will be living on. Oh, I also deleted my house. My little container thing that I was required to put in down there. You probably didn't even notice it was gone. What I left is this Fiat tractor. I needed a small tractor to drag around the water bucket and the barrel, right, or the tipper, to move the pig food from the productions into the pig food situation. And then we have this old Ford, which we've had for a while. And these two tractors are just going to sit here. So theoretically, aside from having to run products over to the stores, which I guess at this point we should probably set this to selling so that there is nothing that anybody needs to do. I think I will do that. Set all this stuff to selling, the salt, and the soybeans. So that may, for the most part, aside from filling up the greenhouses with water and the filling up whatever production's water is required, and then moving the pig food and the slurry. Other than that, this island should be completely hands-off, self-sustaining. Yeah. What do we have in here? We have some pig food and some barley. Never did anything with the barley. I mean, we could give it to some chickens. We could put some chickens in. I don't know. There's all kinds of things to do. Realistically, I'd probably just dump it into this production and let it turn itself into flour and bread. You know, if I was really running this farm. But seeing as how this is a challenge wrap, we're not doing anything with it. So everything is just going to stay here. And this game save is going to live on my computer for a while, and then it's going to go away. Anywho. So that's it. That's it for today, guys. I hope that y'all have enjoyed the series. I had a really good time making it. I'd love to hear your comments on what you think I did with the landscaping. I don't think it's great. If I'd have paid a landscaper for this, I'd probably be really irritated as a regular person in the real world. But, you know, you guys don't tune in to see my landscaping skills, right? So whatever the case may be, so that's going to wrap it for the Island Preservation Challenge, at least for me. There's still 11 or 12 other YouTubers who are out there doing this challenge and creating content for it. So there is that. So what's next for us on this channel? I got a couple more series that I'm working on. I will start working on those. However, I think we're going to break off and do a few tutorials on farm sim and mods and stuff like that. You know, as I've been making content, you know, I watch a lot of content. Anybody who makes YouTube videos watches a lot of YouTube videos. It's part of the process, right? At least for me anyway. One thing I have noticed is that there's no shortage of new mod videos, as far as, you know, people doing the what's new coming up to farm sim and stuff. But there is kind of a shortage of people showing you how to use those mods. And I can tell you for myself and many other creators that I watch on YouTube, you know, you get a mod and it sounds like it's great and it's going to solve a problem. And then, you know, you spend 6 hours trying to figure out how to use it. Right. There's no documentation. There's nothing to read. You know, if the modder hasn't made a YouTube video explaining it, you know, good luck. You know, maybe Farm Sim Guy or Farmer Cop or one of these other guys will take an interest in it and they will make it, right? They will make a video about it. But so whatever the case may be, I feel like there's a little bit of a gap there. And for my own personal farm sim journey over the last several years and, you know, thousands of hours of playing this game, there are some things that I would like, you know, some more detail on. So I'm going to do some tutorial videos and I'll push those. Those will be pushing out in the next week or so. You'll see them. So, you know, you definitely want to get subscribed to the channel if you aren't already so that you don't miss anything new. And then, you know, stay tuned for some more challenge-like content. I got some ideas of, you know, different maps and different scenarios and all the rest of that kind of stuff. But nonetheless, I hope you've enjoyed it. And I have really enjoyed making it. I appreciate all of you for watching it. Everybody who stays to the end, you know, you get extra props from me. Not that you care about props from me, but nonetheless, you get them anyway. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Love it, guys. Keep those comments coming. Love to hear what you guys think. Love your thoughts. Other than that, I will see you in the very next one.